Hello and welcome to this video where I am building a 20-foot catamaran sailboat in my garage. And in this video we are going to continue working on the stern of the boat, and specifically I'm going to show you some 3D printed templates that I use to get some extra thickened epoxy on the inside of these handles. So follow along and I'll show you everything involved. Following up with the previous video where I was fiberglassing the stern steps, all of the peel ply has now been removed. Everything looks good, and I was pointing out in the last video that I noticed a lighter spot underneath the peel ply, and I was going to take a look at it again once I remove the peel ply. And yes, I think there is a spot here where the fiberglass is probably not completely up against the plywood underneath it. I think I'm going to leave it, however. It's not that big, and for me to remove this, I think it's going to affect, I've got all the fiberglass fibers running through here already, so I'm worried it would actually cause more problems to try to remove this than to just leave it. I've knocked along here. I cannot feel any type of give here. It seems very strong. Just tapping, it's the same sound all along. So I think I'm going to leave that. I know that the wood underneath was fully coated, so it should all be protecting the wood. The wood should be well protected already, and I think just leaving those fibers in place is probably the best thing to do. So the next thing I'm going to do is move on to the handles again, and let me show you what I mean. So I've been having a really hard time getting the inside of these handles fiberglassed and getting it to stick to the under the previous layers or the wood without any major air bubbles, and each time I have to come along and sand out any imperfections, and it seems like it just ends up going right back to the wood again. So I'm going to treat these handles the way I probably should have done from the very beginning, and just treated them just like I would any other hole, where I would drill, fill, and drill again. In other words, drill a larger hole, fill it in with thickened epoxy, and then drill that out. So I don't want to completely cover these handles or fill in these handles, because I think that would just be a lot of epoxy, because I do want a good size handle here. So what I did was I made a couple templates or guides, and let me show you what I did. So I designed a couple templates on my computer and then printed them in plastic on a 3D printer so that we have something like this. And the idea here is to provide a straight edge inside here later to be able to run the router around the handles to remove the thickened epoxy. And these should be able to sit in here just like this, and the gap along the side here will be filled in with thickened epoxy. And then once that hardens, I'll try to remove these as best I can. It might stick to the epoxy. I'll try to see if I can do something to get it to not stick, but regardless, I'll probably end up breaking these when I remove them, and that should end up leaving a nice oval shape opening here with thickened epoxy, and then I can take the router along it and just round over the edges. And that's probably what I should have done from the beginning, but at least here I do have some fiberglass on the inside here, so it's stronger than had I just filled it in with thickened epoxy only. So all in all, I'm happy. It just took me a little bit longer to come to the realization that I really do need to fill this in with thickened epoxy, and I don't want to waste it with filling the entire thing with thickened epoxy, because then I still have to have some type of opening and get the edges straight again. So I think the best way is to make this template and just go from there. So I'm going to put these in with some thickened epoxy. Here is the part being printed on the 3D printer. A little bit of packing tape should help prevent most of the stickiness. So I didn't try to get all the way around like in these corners here and here, but the main thing is this top insert here is fully covered in packing tape, so that should eliminate most of the stickiness. The epoxy is fully cured, and this is what it looks like with the guides in place, and the next step is to try to break these free. So this longer side seems to be breaking free good. Around the curves here is a bit difficult, but it might be coming free. Let me use this little putty knife here on this side. See if any of this will come off. It does appear to be breaking free. And tearing some of the tape out as well. Okay, let me try to cut some of this extra tape off here with the knife first. Okay, you can see it a little better now, but it seems to be fairly well stuck. There we go, that was something. And it is sliding out. It's a very tight fit, so I have to take it a little bit from the top and a little bit from the bottom. And it's out. It pulled off most of the packing tape around here, but it is out. So this is what it looks like. This is what I was looking for, is a nice smooth edge in here that can be used as a guide for the router to route this over, and this gives a good buffer of thickened epoxy to protect the wood that might be a bit exposed in places where the fiberglass could not get to. Looks like there might be some voids that I'll need to fill. There's a little bubble right there, and there's probably some more. So I think the next step here is to get this sanded and see how many voids need to be filled. But I think I'm going to end this episode here. It's been about a week since the previous episode. I did not think I would be able to get any more fiberglassing done, but this was just some simple epoxy, some thickened epoxy, so I was able to get that done even with the high temperatures in the garage. So yeah, I will go ahead and end this video here. Alright, bye.